All right. Here we go, back again on the other side of the coin. All right, welcome back to the other side of the coin, ladies and gentlemen. It is a here we go. Not officially on the Twitter page from Fabrizio Romano, but apparently on his YouTube channel, he has given a here we go. Another mad day of World Cup. Obviously, we're going to spend a lot of time talking about Christopher Nkunku and the here we go, what it means for us. Obviously, it's not happening for this season, but I think laying the foundation for the future, along with all the youngsters that we've been buying in recent times. I think this is a fantastic situation for Chelsea Football Club. But yeah, madness. It was funny. Vincent Abubakar scores for Cameroon and gets himself a red card straight away for taking the top off. He was on a yellow. I don't understand why footballers do this. Like, it's a yellow. Like, why are you doing this? Why do you want to get yourself a yellow card? I know it's a spur of the moment. It's a huge victory for Cameroon against Brazil, but why are you doing that? That was quite strange. You know, the referee was smiling, he was smiling. They both appreciated the red card together, and he moved on. Congratulations to Switzerland. Zakaria finally got some minutes, and he was ready for a fight. At the end of the day, it's good to see that he got some minutes off the bench. Let's see what happens to Switzerland now into the next round. I believe Switzerland plays Portugal, right? I think Switzerland plays Portugal and South Korea plays Brazil. Ghana on that crazy match against Uruguay just couldn't do it. South Korea ends up getting that last minute winner. In fact, last second winner against Portugal to go through. Kudos to Son and South Korea as well. But not too much in regards to Chelsea players that's been involved in the World Cup today. As I said, I think it's the only player, Zakaria, who was involved, and he got some minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining after 2.5 minutes. Over 70 people live right now. Smash the like button. It is a here we go for Christopher Nkunku for season 23-24. As we all know, it wasn't happening for January, but it is happening for the next season, which is great. Lots of people have been tweeting this, the likes of Simon Phillips, Chelsea Dodgers, and many more. Many of the Chelsea, transfer news or Chelsea news reporters out there in Twitter have been reporting this. Let's see what you guys have to say about this. Good to see so many of you guys are here, man. Sai Krishna, Joshua, Matt Charles, Point 44. Great to see. And yeah, this is true. Because after Gvardiol, we need to start buying players 24 to 28-year-olds to have immediate impact. Now, you're right. And there's some talks about Gvardiol as well. Apparently, we are starting the conversation with him. I'm quite confident we're probably going to get Gvardiol as well. So Krishna, best group stage ever with some huge upsets. Got the most important thing. We have a here we go before the window even opens. Fantastic, actually. Really, really good to have the here we go. Salam, brother. Wa alaikum assalam, my man. Clicks. What do you expect Chelsea to do after the World Cup ends? Look, after the World Cup ends, I need Chelsea to start winning games, man. Find ways to win games now. Like, enough's enough. I hope all the players that have been involved in the World Cup can come back and start refresh. Forget what has happened. It is what it is. I'm pretty certain all of these players that were involved in the World Cup were quite... I'm quite confident that they were all focused on the World Cup. Like, they weren't really thinking about club football. So I hope all of these players, now that the World Cup, when it does end, that they can come back and really just focus on Chelsea Football Club and win games. We need to go on a bit of a streak, man. We have to go on a bit of a streak. Chelsea players through to the World Cup knockout stages: Mount, Sterling, Gallagher, Koulibaly, Mendy, Pulisic, Ziyech, Kovacic, Azpilicueta, Thiago Silva, Zakaria. That's fantastic, man. There's a lot of Chelsea players into the next round, which is great. Hopefully it's a great morale boosting scenario for all of them. We need a DM. So badly means look how attackers look much better in a balanced system until we sort out that rotten midfield with no natural DM. We will not progress. Hope it happens, bro. Look, I need to clarify something. I really do need to clarify something. For people that think, and this is not having a go at you, Adrian, for people that think it's just as simple as getting a DM and everything will fall into place, it's not that straightforward, man. The quicker we start understanding this game from a more tactical point of view, the better it is for all of us. Yes, a DM will help everyone else. There's no doubt about that. Our midfield looks a little bit imbalanced at the moment. But that's not just because of who we have in terms of personnel. It's got to do with chemistry. It's got to do with the structure, the system. Graham Potter needs to sit down with every player, right, and work it out in training sessions. What we're going to do off the ball, what we're going to do on the ball. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not just as simple as let's get Declan Rice and plug him into defensive midfield and it's all going to be good. It's not as simple as that. Like, look at all the teams that don't have Declan Rice or they don't have Jude Bellingham or they don't have XYZ. It's about the manager finding a way to create a system that is best suited to get consistency. It all starts from the training field, man. It all starts from the training field. The more you work on a particular thing, the better it will get. Do you know what I mean? Phenomenal thing. DM fixes 40% of our problems. Like that, I don't know about that percentage, but yes, it's not 100%. I think what Phenomenal Thing is trying to say is it's not 100%. There's been a lot of matches, if you look at Chelsea, the ones that we've lost, not necessarily because there's no defensive midfielder. There's been a lot of cases where we just couldn't finish. Have a look at the game against Brighton. We had chances. We can't finish. So it's not just about defensive midfielder. Yes, defensive midfielder is needed. There's no doubt about that. But if you're honestly sitting there thinking in January, as soon as we get like an Edson Alvarez or whoever else, it's all going to be rosy, you're going to be in for a shock. I am not even going to be surprised if we get a defensive midfield and we still end up looking really, really iffy in midfield. Because these things take a bit of time, mate. It takes a bit of time. All of these things to gel together takes a bit of time. But yeah, I'm not putting aside the fact that we need a DM. We do need a DM, a natural DM who's quite versed in understanding exactly what that role needs to do. But that DM needs to be a ball-playing DM as well. It can't just be predominantly you're a defender. Like Chelsea Football Club will have to build up from the back. Do you know what I mean? Like you need someone who's quite capable on the ball as well, man. This is what I'm saying. It's not as simple. 3-4-3 is a balanced system. So we don't need a DM. We need positionally disciplined players. There you go. Point 44. Point 44 is on the money. Positionally disciplined players. Do you remember when Ruben Loftus-Cheek played against AC Milan, the first match? Him and Kovacic. How much were we in control, man, in that midfield? Because Ruben Loftus-Cheek carried out his role to the T that day. And it all comes down to this: positionally disciplined players. When you don't have discipline, it's not going to work out. You can have the best defensive midfielder, but if there's no discipline, if that defensive midfielder don't understand positional awareness, positional, surroundings, it ain't going to work out, man. I'm telling you right now. And then soon you're going to be against that particular defensive midfielder. It's simple as that. CFX, DM, Enzo Fernandez with Benacer. Benacer is someone I like, man. And Enzo, obviously. But I think in terms of release clause, 120 million release clause, I think that's going to be quite insane. Let me see. Let me bring out now. Let's talk a little bit about the Christopher Nkunku news, ladies and gentlemen. I don't think Fabrizio has tweeted that, but everyone else besides Fabrizio has pretty much tweeted that out. I mean, he still has it as his pinned tweet from 29th November, but nothing of recent times has come out. But I've seen everyone else sort of talk about it. This is Chelsea Dodgers. It's a little bit about Josko Gvardiol, obviously. just enlarge that a little bit. Okay, Christopher Nkunku is here we go to Chelsea. More below, including Josko Gvardiol, Fabrizio Romano via YouTube. Then it further goes on to say Chelsea is still in touch with Josko Gvardiol's people and also with Red Bull Leipzig. They are still actively trying to sign him. Man City are also tracking him in 2023. He'll be allowed to move. His clause is not 40 to 45 million. It's not true. It's different clause. Okay. Man City are apparently also tracking him as well. Let's have a look at this. Let me see if I can actually bring this up. Hold on. Let me stop that.
They are still in touch with Red Bull Leipzig, and the relationship is great because I told you that Chelsea have almost signed Christopher Nkunku from Leipzig for June 2023. It's a done deal, so it's a here we go for Nkunku to Chelsea. Hey guys, welcome back here on the channel.
There you go. He just said that it's a here we go for Nkunku
Fabrizio
and
Romano,
Chelsea.
as always, with you to update you on the transfer market. And today, guys, we touch on one of the best talents in the world in general, and in his position, probably the best talent in this moment, Josko Gvardiol, the Croatian centre-back. He's doing fantastic at the World Cup. He's always doing fantastic with Red Bull Leipzig. So let's jump into his future together. In Croatian football and with the national team now, this World Cup has been the key point of his career because he's really doing incredible. So first of all, congrats to Josko Gvardiol because he's not just a top talent, but he's also a top professional with a great mentality. So he's more than a special player. He's also a very great guy. I'm told that this is something really appreciated in the dressing room of Croatian national team, of Leipzig, and this is never a detail when we speak about young guys becoming stars. Is a really important point. And also what happens with his future. But let's touch on his past, because in August, I told you in the final days of August that Chelsea have made an official bid to sign Josko Gvardiol at the end of summer 2022, but for summer 2023. So to let him stay one season on loan to Leipzig and then to join Chelsea in 2023. This was the plan. Todd Bowley offered 80 million euros guaranteed plus 5 million euros in add-ons, but the answer from Red Bull Leipzig, after being tempted by that bid because it was a huge one, was to say no. They decided to refuse. They decided to keep Josko Gvardiol at the club and to extend his contract. So Josko Gvardiol in September signed a new deal with Red Bull Leipzig. But it's important to say that the expectation internally at the club and from people close to the player is clear. Josko Gvardiol will change in 2023. He will have the chance to join a top club in 2023. This is the plan. We will see if it will be January. We will see if it will be in the summer, but Josko Gvardiol will have a top move in 2023. This is the expectation. Also important to say that this was already discussed when he extended the contract. So Red Bull Leipzig are open to letting go when they will receive the best proposal. What happens now? Chelsea are still actively working to sign Josko Gvardiol. So Chelsea are there. They are still in touch with people close to the player. They are still in touch with Red Bull Leipzig, and the relationship is great because I told you that Chelsea have almost signed Christopher Nkunku from Leipzig for June 2023. It's a done deal. So it's a here we go for Nkunku to Chelsea, but the relationship with Leipzig.
There you go. There you go. It's a here we go. It's a here we go from Fabrizio Romano in regards to Christopher Nkunku, and there seems to be a lot of talk about Josko Gvardiol as well. I'm not going to be surprised one bit if Chelsea Football Club end up getting him as well, man. And I think that will be fantastic, which is great. Like, we are setting the foundation, ladies and gentlemen. We are setting the foundation. Look, obviously this season there's still a lot to go. More than half of the season still remaining. We are in a bit of a trouble. We have to get out of this. This is the challenge for Graham Potter now. After the World Cup, I need Graham Potter. No more excuses to start winning games. However way you can. I'm not really looking forward to any type of system or any type of a particular structure being built. Obviously, that would be greatly appreciated. But it's time we start picking up points, man. It's very important we start picking up points. And then obviously in the future for 2023-24, Graham Potter can be rest assured that you've got a brilliant player like Nkunku joining us. I know some of you guys are a little bit iffy about the fact that, oh, Miz, what's his best position? He can pretty much play anywhere. He's another one of those, I can play anywhere in the front three merchant. But there's a slight difference with Christopher Nkunku. Like, yes, he can play anywhere in the front three, but he's not one of those players where you feel like he's jack of all trades, master of none. I feel like he could be master of several positions. Like, he can play out wide in the wing, and he could be very devastating on that particular situation. He can play through the middle, and he'll be very devastating in that situation. He can play up front as a 9, and I think he will be very devastating in that situation. Me personally, I feel we would probably get the best out of him if he has a striker to play with. So just behind a striker, maybe as a number 10, because he is creative. He can score goals and he can create goals as well. So for me, that's where we will get the best out of Christopher Nkunku. I wouldn't be surprised if we see him play on the wings on the left side. But that's just my thoughts around Christopher Nkunku. Let's see what you guys are saying. Adrian, man, just calm down with the comments, man. Don't. I get you. Like, you've got a lot to say, which is fantastic. But let's give everyone else an opportunity in the live chat as well. Arteta was getting cooked for playing counter-attacking and basically copying opposition formation. Remember, every time against us, 3-4-3, but he got results. This is the thing. I don't know if you guys have seen, when I've had discussions with Ryan, like whenever we do our podcast and whatnot, and Ryan will be back very, very soon to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. Ryan has said many times, like, it's not about pretty football at the moment. We're in a bit of a rut. We're in a bit of a situation where we need to just pick up the points, and hopefully from there we can start a momentum. Winning breeds, good environment. Winning brings good morale, and once you start winning, you can have that good vibe, and you can work on things in the training field. When you stop winning and you're losing consistently, everyone's morale is down. No one wants to train well, and it could spiral. It could spiral very, very quickly. Miz, I don't know why, but Nkunku to me feels like a bit like McAllister, who could convert it into a deep lying playmaker at time. I don't think Nkunku would be a deep lying playmaker, man. I would find that very, very strange. I think you want Nkunku to be further up, closer to the goal, and be more creative in that area in the final third, as opposed to being in closer to midfield. What result? Arteta got 8th, 5th. We call it got result. I think what point 44 was trying to say is that, especially last season, I mean, we have to understand Arsenal were in a bad scenario. Arsenal's been in a bad scenario for a while, but last season, at least, you can see that there was something happening in terms of a philosophy, a style of football. Yeah, they came 5th, but prior to that, what Arteta had to do was just clean up the office. So look, obviously not acceptable. 8th, 5th, it's not good. But I feel like we're in a better position than Arsenal. We're not in a situation where we need a total clean out. Yes, we do need few players gone, but it's not to the sense where with Arsenal, during that 8th, 5th, like they weren't really competitive up until last season, where they did start becoming competitive. I feel personally, we're a little bit ahead from where they started with Arteta. This is why I feel like with Graham Potter, he shouldn't take as long. Like, it shouldn't be as long. Some people have said, it's taken Brighton, three seasons. I hope it doesn't take us that long, man. It shouldn't. And Top Bolly is doing everything possible to give him all the resources. So, I mean, players like Nkunku, players like Gvardiol, most likely for 2023-24 season as well. I think it'll be fantastic, and I'm pretty sure in January we're going to get at least 2, minimum 2, hopefully 3. That's what I'm going for. Nkunku, a baller, 100% baller. Where do you guys picture live chat? Let me know. Nearly 150 of you guys are live right now. Where do you picture Nkunku play for us in the future for next season? Let me know in the live chat. 4-2-4 with Nkunku, Broha, Sterling, and Pulisic up front. So you've got Nkunku, Broha, Sterling, and Pulisic. So Sterling and Pulisic probably out wide, and then Nkunku probably just behind Broha. We'll see, man. That sounds pretty interesting to me. Hopefully, Pulisic sticks around. I don't know. There's some rumors that he could move on as well. Arsenal bottled top four last season, Miz. They were way ahead of Spurs. Of course they did. Of course they bottled it. But I think what I'm trying to say is that you could see that where their philosophy, where their footballing direction was going. Yes, they bottled it, but their success this season wasn't just based on out of thin air this season. It was starting from last season. It really was. You could see that something was going on, and this season is the full throttle of it. That's what I'm trying to say. We lost 5-6 of the last games against Arsenal. They cooked us. Vincent Abubakar, sign him now. Calm yourself down. Calm yourself down. Don't think Potter would favor other systems, but only 3-4-3 because that's the formation he best knows. I mean, I'd like to think someone like Graham Potter, who's managed in the Premier League for a little while now, is more than just 3-4-3. Like, I'm hoping he's someone who's able to play any way of football. In Brighton, he has played four at the back a few times. Edson Alvarez, we need to get him. I mean, guys, what do you think about Edson Alvarez, man? What do you really think about Edson Alvarez? I think he's okay, but I don't know, man. Like, there are games where I don't completely feel comfortable with Edson Alvarez. Seems to sort of just drift a little bit and not always aware of his surroundings. Wildbird 4-3-3 with Nkunku, a proper DM and a Mount. Fair enough. Why not? While we kidding ourselves, Nkunku going to play left wing back, where Sterling has been deployed with this system. He's a left wing back. Imagine you see this, man. I hope Nkunku knows what he's getting into. My word, the coach just got here and we want quick fix. Look, I understand it's going to take time. I really do understand it's going to take time. But I also feel he's got enough ingredients to get results quicker. We're not in some sort of a shambolic squad situation. Like, we've got some really, really good players. He just needs to develop a system, which I know takes time. So I'm willing to stay patient. There's no doubt about that. But at the same time, I'm not going to sit here and just accept losses after losses after losses. Like, Chelsea Football Club, regardless of how bad the situation is, I don't think the squad is not so bad to the point where, 4 losses in a row now? 3 losses in the Premier League? It's not that bad to be getting those type of results. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's still good enough to pick up victories. I understand if you're going to lose to Man City. That's fine, understandable. But if you're going to lose to, let's say, I don't know, Brighton's very good, but we drew against Brentford. We just managed a victory against Aston Villa. Like, Premier League ain't easy, I understand. But you still got to be able to pick up points, man. Like, our quality should still be able to pick up points. You look at how some of these players are playing in the World Cup. Christian Pulisic, Hakim Ziyech. Do you know what I mean? Like, and there's plenty more. So many have made it to the second round. Like, Graham Potter has ingredients to get results. That's what I'm saying. Try and get result. It's very important. Because I'm really excited with how Todd be moving. I remember the days we wanted those fake Saudis that had no money over him. Do you know what? I'm very, very happy with Todd Bowley, the way he's moved on with this Christopher Nkunku situation, man. I'm very impressed, in fact. Very, very impressed by Todd Bowley, the way he's done this. And now the way he sort of looks like he's moving on to the Gvardiol situation. I like the way he's operating right now as the director of football, sporting director. He's actually acting as the sporting director for the time being until we actually get one. So it's good. Let's see what we are able to do in January, because it's very important. We are able to bring in some new faces and maybe let go of some of the old faces. So interesting to see what he does. Obviously, we're setting up for next season, which is great. Players like Nkunku, maybe even Gvardiol. I'm liking what Todd Bowley has done so far in regards to them. Can we expect any players to play well if they don't think he's credible coach and doesn't respect them, which is maybe why these players have performed better in the national team? This is why I've been saying this is a problem for Graham Potter. It's a huge problem. Whoever he kind of feels that does not give him that respect, they got to go. I'm sorry. Even if we like that player, even if we love that player, they need to go. If they don't have the respect for him, it's detrimental. He ain't going to get the performance from them. So I have a few players in my mind I feel like probably doesn't give him the respect. They got to move on. Like I've said it in my previous videos. Like I think Edouard Mendy probably doesn't think too much of Graham Potter. I think Kovacic probably doesn't think too much of Graham Potter. And there's probably more. Do you know what I mean? Kieran Dyer was speaking about, how he spoke to a few players. I personally feel Kieran Dyer, English background. I don't think he'll probably keep in touch with any of the young English players, but maybe Sterling. Do you know what I mean? Sterling is still youngish, but I get the feeling maybe he could be in touch with Sterling. And if Sterling doesn't seem to respect Graham Potter, maybe it's best, like, because we need performance. We need performance, and Sterling's performances prior to the World Cup hasn't been good for Chelsea. Do you know what I mean? So, if he can't give the best to Chelsea Football Club, or he can't feel that he can respect the manager, then he needs to decide his future as well. Because I need players that are going to be able to buy into the project. Do you know what I mean? Facts means I'll give Potter time to get rid of these players, to get his players, so he can implement his philosophy more easier. Absolutely. Because that is Sterling. Sterling, like Southgate, who is much worse manager. It's not about worse manager. I think it's more, he just doesn't rate Graham Potter. Maybe some of these players, they thought Brighton manager, like, do you know what I mean? Like, these players don't think like fans, man. I'm telling you right now, like, how us fans will watch Brighton and we're like impressed at what Graham Potter's done. Not every player thinks like that, I'm telling you. Southgate's a bit different because he's been English manager for a little while now. So, and Southgate plays Sterling on a regular basis. So, and Southgate doesn't play Sterling as left wing back. Do you know what I mean? That could be another thing. And when you compare Potter with the likes of, your Thomas Tuchel and so on and so forth, these players, they want to play for the most top managers in their career. So they don't think like fans. Like us fans would be like, yeah, you know what, Potter's good, decent, why not? But they don't think like us, man. If Bowley managed to get Santos and Zakarian, we might have one of the best potential future midfield diamond for 60 million, adding Chuku and Kasedi. Absolutely, man. The future, we are shaping it up nicely. We're going to wrap things up very, very soon, ladies and gentlemen. Take some final more comments. Smash the like button. We got 150 people live right now. Smash the like button. I believe Big Six will start soon, so I'm pretty sure all of you guys are probably going to be watching that. Surprisingly, Sterling's performance under TT was good. He was probably our best player under TT. I think so. Those early days, it was really Sterling carrying us. And then, look, his form probably started dipping just a bit before TT left. But under Graham Potter, Sterling has not been good one bit. Brother Miz, would you come to UK and do a vlog reacting to Chelsea play at Stamford Bridge? I will. Hopefully sometime next year if I can, next season, if I can manage. That's for sure. Miz, let's face the fact, most of the Chelsea players have achieved more in their careers than Potter has. Yeah, it's just facts, man. It's just facts. But I need to give this manager a chance. And the way this manager is going to get a chance is if he's able to get his own players, man, and build. And I think this is probably one of the big reasons why we're getting a lot of youngsters, so that they can build under Graham Potter. Talented youngsters as well. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to wrap things up. Hope you guys have enjoyed this. Smash the like button before you go. And I'll catch you guys soon again for another live tomorrow. And I'm still tossing up what watch along I want to do. USA, Netherlands, obviously Christian Pulisic, that'll be a good one, but that's 2 a.m. And then there's Argentina, Australia. I follow, obviously I'm from I'm a citizen of Australia. I've been living in Australia for so long. So that would be good. But that's in a good time for me as well, 6 a.m. I'll see. I'll toss up what I want to do. But I hope you guys have enjoyed this. Subscribe if you're here for the first time as well. And I'll see you guys very, very soon. So yeah.